Hello, it's Lawrence Romanowski from Calgary, Canada. This automotive channel is about 12 or 13 years old, and I've posted a wide variety of content, everything from historic racing cars to classic cars to some of my own car restorations to new Porsches and other exotic cars, etc. And I'm going to start a new video series on electric cars and e-mobility. This is in conjunction with a EV buyer's guide that I've spent the last few months on, and I'm just publishing now in the spring of 2021. And what I've done is I've taken all the EVs available in Canada, taken all their specifications, put it all in one place, described all the terminology, where the electrical power comes from, a little bit on home solar, and basically, that whole sort of constellation of ideas and pain points that people may have about EVs. And the goal is to sort of help people make that transition, where it applies to them. So the series of videos that I'll do will complement the magazine. The link for Soleil is down below. And I'll break these videos up into the different sort of components of the EV and do a relatively, deep dive into each one. So ask for your patience and just to get through it, because it does get technical and some parts of it are a little bit confusing. I'll take this line from my yoga guru who said, if you're finding this difficult, don't worry, it'll get easier. And if you're finding this easy, don't worry, it'll get harder. So there should be something for everybody, for the newbie who just wants to get a grasp of the various terms, and from somebody else who maybe wants to further their knowledge deeper into the EV. And it's all in the magazine, and it'll be all in the videos. And I think by the end of it, if you read the magazine and watch the videos, you'll have a pretty comprehensive understanding of what goes into the EV and how to compare an EV against an internal combustion engine car and an EV versus an EV. So we'll talk about the battery construction, the battery size, the measurements of the battery in kilowatt hours. We'll talk about consumption. We'll talk about how fast that battery is depleted, the expected consumption, how that differs from maybe the EPA rating of a car to real world, how that changes with temperature. We'll talk about charging an EV from home. We'll talk about the various kinds of DC chargers and how they mate up with the different electrical architectures of different EV cars, so you know what charge rate you can expect and how much range you can put in a certain amount of time, dependent on the car you have and dependent on the type of DC station. It's kind of a confusing topic. And then we'll talk about how to maybe differentiate different kinds of EVs and how the process of evaluating one EV from the other is quite a bit different than evaluating one combustion engine car from the other, just because with an EV there's so much commonality in the way they're made, in the design and the actual components, that you actually take out a big section of these comparisons between cars, because mostly they're just built the same. Okay, so with that, I hope you'll watch this series of videos. Please subscribe and like and help me grow the channel. I think that there's a lot of good information that's in the magazine and that I can present that will be helpful to you. I don't do short, easy bites, sound bites. I like to be thorough. So if you'll just have the patience to see them through the end, I think you'll find that you'll have a greater understanding of the EVs. Okay, thank you very much. Lawrence Romanowski from Calgary, Canada, and Soleil EV Buyer's Guide.